Hello, Wake Up New Zealand, Karaseki speaking. This is just a short video to tell you what is basically happening right now, and then I'll go a bit deeper into this. So on the 30th of January this year, Tedros, Secretary General of the World Health Organization, announced that the COVID-19 public health emergency and which is of international concern as to health emergencies, would remain. Now, this is 3 years on from when it was first declared and announced. So, what he says about this is the COVID-19 pandemic is probably at a transition point, but there's no indication as to when it's going to be terminated. There's only speculation. Thus, all this coordinated response, the preparedness, the monitoring, the surveillance, what you've seen happening in the last 3 years is sitting there to be used again and again and again until it's terminated. So in 2021, December 2021, the working group in the World Health Assembly that represent the World Health Organization, that is co-chaired by Helen Clark, have been gathering together and planning amendments to the international health regulations. And altogether there are 307 new amendments. Also, they are planning the International Pandemic Treaty, or otherwise known as an accord. Now, this accord will bring about much wider and bigger restrictions on countries, more surveillance, more lockdowns, etc., where Tedros, head of the World Health Organization, can determine when a country is locked down, whether they are affected by a virus or not, and what actually is a virus. And the definition of pandemic will be changed. So all this is happening, and the first draft has gone into the UN Assembly to be discussed, and I believe there's 23 countries so far that has agreed will go ahead with this so far, and it's not looking good. It really is not looking good. Evidently, if they don't get a consensus on this, what they do is they look at 2/3 of the voters that vote for it. And if they vote for it, then it goes ahead. It's introduced globally. Now, this is binding upon 196 countries. So we really need to talk about this. And if we don't, we are going to be ending up in a very dangerous situation. This is global health governance. And it goes much deeper than this, because on the 13th of June 2019, the World Health Organization, the UN itself, and all its agencies signed a memorandum with the World Economic Forum, a strategic agreement, a partnership to bring about this global governance. So the aim was to destroy the free market economy to replace it with a multi-stakeholder corporate capitalist economy, which means a corporate takeover of the world. So what you've got now is the UN and WF in a public-private co-governance of the world. Now, when you look at what's happening in New Zealand, we who are opposing the co-governance in New Zealand, again, we are looking at iwi elite and the government, with iwi elite corporations sitting in the front seat of this vehicle, the government, the politicians sitting in the back, passenger seat, and the people of New Zealand, the roadkill. Now, this is happening at a global level. So, established at the global level and being acted out at a local level. So people join the dots. Now, the reason that the World Economic Forum and the UN decided to sign this strategic partnership plan was that the UN at the time was saying that to actually achieve the goal of UN Agenda 2030 and the 17 global development goals, they needed more finance, they needed more political clout, and the World Economic Forum, with its Davos meetings, the world leaders, the financial from the corporations, etc., they had all the wealth, they had the power. So the World Economic Forum and the UN scratching each other's back to make this happen. So wake up, New Zealand. We need to talk about this openly. We need to publicly discuss this. We need face-to-face meetings, and we need rallies. And we need you to put your differences to one side, and we need you all to come together now. I will be making another video on this because I believe it's really important, because there's one more string to this that you really need to be aware of, and this is the most important factor of all. Wake up, New Zealand, now.